Well, good afternoon, everyone. It feels like the old days sitting here. I was standing lecturing, but it's nice to be back home at the Lincoln campus, and I want to thank all of you for coming out. This is our last town hall meeting. Joining me today is Vice President Sullivan and Vice President Nauman. And we've got a few updates for you, but we're going to start off with, as you can see, this new brand. We've worked with Fuse Ideas over the past almost a year. This is an ad firm that we asked to come in and sort of refresh our brand, say succinctly what it is that we do. And I have to say, I think they've done a great job. They held focus groups. They met with students, faculty, staff. They met with leadership. Can we go back to
Cover page?
Yeah, I want to go to yeah, thank you. This is going to be the message that we send out to the community. And I think it's really reflective of who we are and what we do. So community of thinkers, doers, and achievers. And so you'll be seeing this pop up on billboards coming in late spring, early summer to attract our incoming fall class, help boost that. And we'll see it on RIPTA buses, et cetera. So I think it's a great job. And thank you to everybody that participated in the process. And a new color palette as well. So that is, spread the word. Yes. All right, Bella, thank you. I'm having to turn. So I've covered the brand refresh. I will do a Lincoln update based on the incident of March 6th today, introduce some new people that we have on our team, talk about some of the recognitions and accomplishments that we've had, enrollment update, a budget update, of course. No party would be complete without that, and then upcoming events. So without further ado, let's move to the campus update in terms of the March 6th incident. So particularly today is important for me to come up here. The last time I was here officially was on that day, March 6th. Extremely frightening and frightening for everybody that was in the building. I want to thank the campus police. I want to thank the responding community of law enforcement, both the state police and Lincoln Town Police. Thankfully, this person was apprehended quickly and pretty much without incident. Nonetheless, it certainly highlighted, I believe, some weaknesses in our system and areas for improvement, which is why I asked the following day to have in addition to our own internal after-action review by our police department, that the state police also come in and provide all of us with an external assessment of what worked, what didn't work, and where there are need of improvements. So I can tell you, before the incident, we had 9 major projects underway to enhance the safety of all our campuses. The majority of those enhancements include improved camera technology, upgrading the level of camera integration into the computer system. We are also looking at expanding the alertus across all 4 campuses, which I do believe, I won't intercept the report, but certainly from my own experience, I believe that the alertus was a big contributor to at least a second campus disruption. So making sure that we have upgrades to all 4 campuses and specific alertus that identify for everybody involved where the incident is and what to do. There are other enhancements that I think you will see depending on what location. If you're multi-campus, I'm very confident that you'll see other enhancements to safety. For purposes of security, I really am not wanting to disclose what those are, but I think they're going to be very obvious to you, and it's something that I've certainly been working very hard for since my tenure as a Vice President for Academic Affairs. So going from 9 projects now to 25. And working closely with Vice President Sullivan. I know we've got some questions, and I certainly will entertain those questions at the conclusion of my remarks in terms of what's on your mind. But safety is absolutely at the center of our beings, and we need to ensure that we feel safe coming to work, and that our students are safe in the environment. I will say that our training with external law enforcement agencies certainly paid off, and that work continues. We have some work to do in the immediate phases that I think became very obvious to everybody that was on campus that day, including myself. So again, and I am very thankful to all of you who were here and went through that experience. Also grateful to our advising staff and our HR staff that immediately made support available for any faculty, student, or staff member that felt that they needed to talk to somebody after that. I left this campus and returned to the Warwick campus, and that night was a play put on by our fantastic CCRI players. It was entitled Assassins. So as you can imagine, it was a long day for me as well, but they did a superb job. They carried on, and after about 14 hours, I was able to get home and, be very grateful that everybody was safe, and we had the show went on, and they did a great job. So it's just how things happen, and for that timing of the event, but in any case, as you probably have heard, Rhode Island College has also experienced a couple of incidents where especially passengers that have been on public transportation have gotten into this campus and at Rhode Island College. So we have met with the CEO of RIPTA earlier prior to the incident, but we look forward to having continued conversations. The state police and the trooper that is here, I gave him the green light to go wherever the road takes him. There were no restrictions in terms of how, or what he assessed. And once that report has been submitted and we've had a chance to look over everything and recommendations, we certainly will make sure that you all have access to it as well. So I was very, very impressed and very grateful to the governor's office, to the colonel of the state police, Colonel Weaver, and to the trooper who's been assigned to us. So there'll be more to come on that, but I certainly will look forward to taking your questions as we move on. Moving forward, we have a couple of new members of the team. First of all, John Renza III, and you may recognize the name. I think there's a proud dad sitting out there. John joined us in March as the interim Associate Vice President for Workforce. John comes to us with an extensive background in the business field and wealth management, finance, relationship building, et cetera. So John's assignment is to really assess the workflows in the workforce area, identify opportunities for growth, and how we can maximize our impact on the workforce strategies in Rhode Island. So I'm grateful that John agreed to come on, and we'll be looking, I'm sure, after the search is complete for the presidency to fill these interim positions on a permanent basis. Also joining us, and she is here today, is Dean Christine Terenius-Bell, who up until last week was our chair of our biology department. So Christine, wave. Thank you. And I haven't used the term in about a year, but thank you for saying yes. I'm so thrilled, and I know Vice President Nolman is thrilled as well, to have a faculty member, person who served as a department chair for several years, to say yes to coming into administration. It's not easy, as you probably know, and it's so important that we have people who are coming from academics into these leadership roles. So I know you all join me in welcoming Christine to the team, and thank you again, Christine, for saying yes. You never know where it's going to lead, let me tell you that. Next, every year, this is a highlight for us in academic affairs, which is the awarding of the NISOD recognition. I know some of you in this room have been recognized through this agency. This is the National Organization of Professional Development, and recognizes teaching excellence. And this year we have 4 recipients, and the first one is Rachel Blair. I think it's Voigt, assistant professor for reference librarian. Scott Warilla, who has been part of the biology department for many years and has done great work with program development. Matt Ulrichsen, also a member of the social science department for, I think, nearly a decade. I think I hired Matt and remember meeting with him when he did his interview. And of course, Paula Cardillo, your hometown. Where's Paula? Is she here? Not here. Paula is just an outstanding educator and director of the medical sonography program, which is so competitive and so highly sought after. So congratulations to these 4 individuals. They'll be recognized at a national conference in Austin, Texas at the end of May, and we couldn't be prouder of them. Our website highlights each of their bios. I encourage you to take a look at them. They are really impressive. Now, we've had some real big accomplishments. If you recall, last fall I talked about having a signing with the building trades in a curriculum, a shared curriculum model that is multi-core curriculum. And this is a multi-core curriculum that introduces potential apprentices to the skilled trade. So it covers all the 16 trade unions. It helps them with financial literacy. It prepares them to go into apprenticeships, which are very lengthy and very intense. We signed that document on November 21st. I want to acknowledge Jamie Nash, Cody Fino, who are here. They make everything happen. And going from November 21st to a graduation that was about 10 days ago of 17 students is remarkable. With the help of the Department of Labor and Training, we were able to offer 3 cohorts of the MC3 curriculum. The first one graduating on, let's see, I don't think I have the date, but it was within the past April 3rd. Yep, not far off. So April 3rd, we had 17 students graduate. 4 of them have interviews for apprenticeships, and the others are also continuing on in preparation for entry into the trades field. This is nothing short of miraculous to turn it around that fast. There's another cohort that is underway at the Providence campus, and then in May we'll be starting our 3rd cohort, and that will be located at the Newport campus. As you may know, we also have put out a search and a job description to have a person that would be an executive director of apprenticeships. Apprenticeships provide us a great opportunity to expand our student pipeline where colleges are grappling with declining population and enrollment and students really looking for different experiences and not always in the traditional degree pathway. So having a robust apprenticeship program allows us to match the students with apprenticeships and get them on an academic path that can lead to a degree. So I think it's a win-win. We are, for the first time in this area, going to be serving as an intermediary for placing students who are interested in becoming apprentices. And apprenticeships have expanded. They're not just in the trades anymore. They are used in culinary. They're used in healthcare. So I think this office will be, a beginning point for really a robust pipeline of students that are looking for a different option and maybe an earn while you learn model. And I have no doubt, like everything that CCRI does, that we will emerge very strong in this area. So thank you, Cody, thank you, Jamie, for the work that you did. The turnaround, it was incredible time. So we'll look forward to 2 more graduation classes. Also, some good news. We recently received the Gold Award as a military-friendly school. This is awarded annually, and it is a very elite group. I believe it's top 10%. You have to score in the top 10% of military serving schools. This is the first time CCRI has achieved this honor, and it is based on our more than 300 veterans, active and former service members, and the services that we support them in terms of advising financial aid, the experience of a veteran coming back, of which we are so very grateful for their service. So thank you to everybody here. I see Kelly Morrissey. I know financial aid is a major component of how we service these students, and very, very proud that we got this recognition. Okay, spring enrollment, good news. Last semester, I came back to you with not so good news, where we were 2% down for fall enrollment, but we have rebounded. We are 2% up for the spring of 25, 2% over last spring, and this is a trend that I am very, very happy to see. And we continue to do work on this. Contributing to this 2%, of course, was the fact that we also increased our retention rate from fall to spring by 5%. And I just want to thank everybody, the faculty and the staff in the room that support our students through innovative educational pathways and design, as well as the staff that help with enrollment and advising, and particularly financial aid. I think we could do a whole town hall someday with Greg LaPointe and Amy Kasserich just talking about what the team in the student affairs side have done in terms of enabling and empowering students to remain with us. So many students, of course, as you have heard us talk about, encounter that satisfactory academic progression barrier, which prevents them from having access to federal financial aid. And with the work of the advising staff and the financial aid staff, and a relook at how we manage and do early alerts, we have cut that number down dramatically. So very, very grateful to all of them for their work. Also some good news, as many of you know, and I again want to thank those in the room and who are watching virtually who participated in the open house that was held a week ago. We had I think we had about 400 people that came through. Really good turnout, and our applications are up. It's tough. This isn't, sorry. Yeah, promise applications. We're up 9%. Now, that for over last year. We do know that that last year we were down, and this was the sector that we were down significantly, and we were down 8% in promise applications last year. So this is a good sign. Applications, however, do not equate to enrollment and registration. So that's where the work continues to make sure that we're available to help our students actually get registered for classes, that they're available, and but the early signs look good. While talking about promise, there's a couple of legislative actions that have been put forward by Senate and House. One is to expand the eligibility for credit-bearing credentials. So right now, if you are a promise student, you are not eligible to take part in any of our credit-bearing certificates. So if it's a year certificate, they are not eligible. So there's legislation that is pending that would expand that opportunity for students to take advantage. And we have some great stackable credentials now. Most of our degrees are inclusive of stackable credentials, and remarkable amount of work done by the faculty over the past, I'd say, 10 years in terms of thinking in that manner, so that students that need to stop out and re-enter can do so. This will be very, very helpful to them. We've got such great certificate programs, the surgical tech, there's the allied health programs, dental. So it will open up a whole new opportunity for them. And then we connect with them and make sure that they get back onto a track to come in for their degree. The second piece of legislation is extending the eligibility for promise students. So you may know a college student that started off really happy and optimistic and didn't really make it till Columbus Day when they needed to come home. So that happens to some students, and this legislation actually will allow up to a semester deferral. And the catch is that, and the slide is a little bit misleading, they are supposed to be enrolled in a college right after high school. But there is a part of the bill that you see here that will allow for certain circumstances where a student had to defer entrance into a college, whether it's medical or something else, which would be determined on a individual basis. So we won't know the outcome of this legislation until the budget passes, and that, of course, as you know, will be mid to late June. But we're optimistic, and we certainly support it wholeheartedly. So that updates us on the promise. And I know I think there's a question about promise that I can get to at the end. The budget, well, I have my numbers person here. The budget process has been underway. It seems like it never stops. I think that's more accurate. We have testified. I've testified before the Senate Finance Committee on March 25th, the House Finance Committee on March 27th. As I said at the earlier town hall meeting this semester, we're happy that the governor has included some additional funding for our culinary program, our work-based learning, and overall met our current service level, slightly below, but we made it up in some different areas. And so we're really grateful for that. Again, we won't know the outcome of this budget until the legislature votes on it. It is a tough budget season. I think everybody, recognizes that. I won't go into all the details. You can see them. You've heard us talk about them. With the 2% decline in September, that brought us to 17%. We do have a $4.1 million gap that we're managing, and Vice President Sullivan is charged with helping us come up with a plan that will allow us to get to a balanced budget over the next couple of years. And so we're working together on that. But the pandemic obviously had a negative impact. It could have been worse, and I'm very grateful that there were some dollars that were invested in a fund. They're modest, but they're going to help us get ourselves out of this, because as you know, in May of 23, the ARPA funding ceased. There was no more covering for a loss of tuition. So during those pandemic years where we saw significant drops, we were able to offset those with federal financial dollars that is no longer available. So we will continue to keep you updated and work on what will be a new budgeting plan that looks to close this gap. The capital budget is again, I won't sort of belabor this. They get very complex, but this is looking at all our major renovations, and we're happy that basically was level funded. The only takeaway I would say here is that we had asked to be included in a bond, and you probably have heard about the University of Rhode Island got approved for, I think, a life science building, and Rhode Island College got approved for a cybersecurity. We were asking for more mundane things like upgrades to technology and so forth. So we'll be rethinking the strategy for the next cycle, of which will be the midterms in 26, to get on the bond and to do some upgrades in terms of our offerings and facilities. So good news is they didn't take any away. So we hope that holds. Very important are the new initiatives to fuel growth. The culinary and the culinary certificate and degree, and I want to publicly recognize Chair Copeland and her team for work, and of course helping with this is Vice President Nauman, but this is going to be, I think, a real game changer for the Newport campus. As you know, you've heard us talk about utilizing that campus in a more robust way. We have facilities down there that were, I'll say they were underutilized. They were utilized, but it did give us an opportunity to offer this type of programming that we might not have been able to do had we not had an infrastructure already there. So with the help of the governor's direction of funding to enhance those facilities, we have been able to get through the curriculum committee, and thank you to anyone who's on that committee, both an associate degree in culinary craftsmanship as well as an embedded certificate that would be cooking essentials, kitchen essentials. This will be great news to the 21 plus CTE culinary programs around the state. The increase have been very vigorous. I think we're well over 140, 150, which is a good sign. So thank you. I know this was a lot of work to get done, and we're right down to the wire, but it is, I think it's going to be really a very positive feature for the Newport campus. We have the support of the industry in that area, as well as Providence, and I think it will breathe some life into Newport. So thank you for that. I talked about the ready to build and the apprenticeships. We received some dollars to build upon that as well. I'm going to flip back more towards a budget item, which is, nope.
Not flipping, it's going forward to it.
Yeah, okay. The voluntary retirement incentive program, obviously, if you are eligible, you know about it. This is a program that we are offering that will allow an employee who has a total years of service and age totaling 80. That really, that's a different formula than what we've used in the past. So it did open it up to 109 of our employees. 75 of them are faculty and 34 are staff. I don't have any numbers for you today in terms of increase, but we were assessing the impact of this utilizing about a third, a 30%, a 33% participation rate. And that was based on previous data that we've had over the several retirement incentive programs that we've offered since I think it was 2017. So that remains open until I believe May 19th is the deadline for employees to apply for that, and we'll see where and how that impact will present itself. So, and then just closing out the formal section here, and I look forward to your questions. We've got, this is the fun part of the year, right? This is the time that we start off with our Raising Opportunities, which is next week. I want to recognize Associate Vice President Jenny Johnson and the team in advancement. I think this is going to be the best yet. This is going to be at the Water Fire Events Center. And looks like we've got a pretty full house, and we will really celebrate our diamond anniversary beginning on April 25th with this event. We have CCRI Day that follows on the 29th, and that's 2 to 4 in the rotunda of the State House. So if you are in the area, come on by. It's a great time. We love to see our governor and legislators. They stop by. I think last year the governor had his blood pressure checked by some of the student nurses, and many of our legislators are CCRI graduates. So we get a very warm reception when we're up there. Commencement is May 15th, and I hope to see everybody there. Again, it's a big year for the 60th anniversary. And of course, in between all of that, looking at my friends from the health sciences, we will have several ceremonies celebrating students with their pinning and honor societies and so forth. So lots to look forward to and celebrate as we close out the academic year 24-25. So I'm sorry, I must be very popular. Okay, let me silence it. I'm also not very tech savvy, but all right, now it's your turn. So we have some questions. Amy, how are we going? Should I?
If anybody in the audience has questions, just raise your hand and I'll bring a microphone over to you. For those that are listening and watching on the other campuses, the only way they'll be able to hear your question is if we use the microphone. So if there's any questions in the audience, we can start there. Okay, and I know there were some pre-submitted questions, Dr. Costigan. If you would.
Yes. Maybe that will warm up the crowd. Yeah. The first question we got was, can the college do routine drills for active shooters and fire drills? And first of all, let me say that I wholeheartedly support that, and I am going to turn it over to Vice President Sullivan as he oversees that area.
Yes, in particular right now we're recruiting and trying to solicit specific department trainings. We have 7 in queue right now to do. So if any of your departments would like specific training for your areas peculiar to your facilities and your time of day, et cetera, that's an excellent way to get, hands-on direct training for as many people as you want there. We're doing that at the same time. Chief Hopkins and I are planning campus-wide drills for each campus. That's in the planning phases, trying to see what that looks like and how best to accomplish those. We already do drills with the local municipalities. That's one of the reasons why that aspect of the March 6th incident went so well in coordination. We had the Lincoln Police Department here, we had the State Police department here, and they coordinated exceptionally well between each other. That training has been going on. We've done similar training with the municipal police in Newport and in Warwick. And we're in the process of planning that same type of training in Providence. But getting back to the specifics of this question, I think was regarding employees and students. And yes, we're working on that comprehensive planning right now. And in the interim, I encourage departments who are interested to reach out to campus police to schedule essentially one-on-one training for their department.
And I'm going to go out of order because we had 3 questions submitted. The second one that I'm going to move up here is also related to safety, Rich. It's on the Lincoln campus, the police kiosk, often understaffed, usually empty at lunch. Can we provide full coverage at the kiosks?
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of this concern previously, and I'll address it with Chief Hopkins and get back to the Lincoln campus community with an answer.
And thank you for those questions. Are there any other questions related to this topic that that you have to the college safety and so forth? Okay. The third question that came in, which was actually the second, was do we have can we receive an understanding of the cost of Rhode Island Promise? So Kelly Morrissey's here, but I'm going to toss out what I believe is the cost, and it is not to the college, it is to the state of Rhode Island. This is a legislated piece of action that is funded by the state, and I believe we're in the range of about $6 million a year that we receive, give or take a little bit there. Just to refresh everyone's memory, students can be fully Pell eligible. This is a last dollar scholarship. So if the student is full Pell eligible, then they do not receive Promise dollars. There are some students who are partially eligible for Pell, and the Promise dollars would be backfilling whatever the gap is. And then there's students who are just above the Pell eligibility, and they are the ones that receive the full Pell, the full Promise scholarship. I can tell you we've recently looked at the outcomes for Promise students, particularly those that are full Promise students have an average about a 50% graduation rate. So when we're talking about numbers that are in the high teens overall, this has been a very good investment for the state of Rhode Island. It has been a great investment for the college, but we receive these dollars because it's not just the state dollars that we receive. We're actually able to leverage the federal dollars through those students that can come in with partial Pell or full Pell. And so I'm happy to take any questions on that if anybody had further.
Dr. Costigan, I believe we have a question in the chat.
Can I, Maddie had a follow-up. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that we're considering using the Promise for certificate programs, because I think that's important. And also that we're allowing students perhaps an extension for a semester. Can we leverage that same program to help students who are in the health sciences program who cannot possibly complete a 2-year degree in 2 years because of all the prerequisites that they have to take?
Yeah. Well, right now we're trying to preserve the whole thing because there are people that I think I can safely say that are really questioning the public scholarships and so forth. So it's certainly something, Maddie, we can look into. I also I think it's time for us to look at how we can sort of streamline and get students in a more efficient way. I know when I came here many years ago, I came right out of high school and I entered into the nursing program, understandably things have changed, content changes, et cetera. But I think it's going to be a little bit of both. And yes, I do think we would have I think there would be some receptivity given the need for healthcare providers in the state and how much our economy depends on healthcare. So I'd like to work with you and at least for the immediate future, and let's talk to the health sciences and see how can we, do a little bit of both. But that it is a good point. There isn't a way right now that you can complete an associate degree in 2 years. Yeah, thank you. Amy's getting her steps in.
Thank you, Amy. Yeah, I find, I'm an advisor, my name's Kyle. I find that I'm meeting with a lot of students and explaining to them their financial aid benefits with their Pell Grants and what they can do. A lot of students I meet with, they say, oh, we talk about the JA program and transferring, and they say, oh, I can't afford a bachelor's degree program. And so we go over the Pell Grant, what their benefits are, what it depends on, if, for example, if there's an income increase, what that could mean. But what it can mean for them if they get their 2-year degree here and then go to, say, Rick, and how much the Pell Grant can help pay for that, too. So I wrote up a form that I give to students now because I find myself explaining it so often. So I just want these students to feel empowered just like everyone else. Yeah.
Oh, thank you
course.
so much. This is what makes us, I think, so successful because everybody in this institution is focused on supporting our students. We're up 110% in JAA enrollment. That's really good news for URI and Rhode Island College. Again, I'm a product of that pathway, so I strongly support it. I know many of you in this room are as well, that you, it's a wonderful education and the price is very reasonable. And then for our JAA students, so thank you for taking that extra step to help students understand what the financial supports are available. For students who do go over there, there's a graduated GPA incentive up as much as 30%. That they can receive. So it's wonderful. And we know that everybody loves to get our students on transfer, and that includes the private institutions as well. So thank you for what you do. Did we have a question online?
Yeah, there's a similar question that we get a lot, which is when will the student service area be open?
Yes.
We have David's
Yeah.
I think-
Oh, hey.
microphone to David.
Oh, poor David.
We are still targeting June 20th as a completion date for student services.
We'll move in.
By move-in, correct.
I have had a sneak peek. I think you will all be completely just in awe of what has happened over there, and the transformation, absolutely gorgeous and very user-friendly, it appears. And again, the staff that has lived for how many years over in the village? Is it over two?
2.5.
2.5? Yeah. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, because no windows and a lot of cubby holes, and you still did it every day. So I can't wait for you to be in a place with nice, bright windows and sunshine and new carpeting and all of that. So we'll be sure to be having an event, I'm sure, and you'll be all invited. So make sure you mark your calendars when that message goes out.
Just to provide a little bit more insight into what David was speaking about. We typically get this question, so we were discussing the status of the Student Services Center actually almost every time we get together, and this morning we were discussing it. And we're basically down to the furniture, and we are required to use a certain vendor for the state. And David's been trying to coordinate the furniture for months with them. the specifics. And as we get closer, David's been putting more and more pressure on them to give specific dates and to commit to specific dates. And as he was driving up here for this meeting, he got a message on his cell phone from the person he was, has been pushing. So we will get that update after this meeting. But if you don't hear from us, that's good news.
Okay.
That means we're still pushing.
Yes, yeah, we're all anxious.
We're down to the furniture.
Yeah, yeah. In time for us to be enrolling a lot more students, so that will be good news. Other questions? Any come in? How about any in the room? Well, thank you for taking time out of your day. It's always great to see you, and look forward to seeing you at Raising Opportunities. Well, that'll be a fun night, and then all the festivities. I know I'll be spending some time up here in early May with the pinning ceremony celebrating our students. So thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend, holiday weekend, and see you soon. Thank you.